G'day everyone, Faye here. I'll preface by saying this, I'm not an expert or any kind of authority. This is just a little bit of something of what I do that you can do too if you so choose. If you don't want to, don't. That is entirely up to you. You have to forgive the flies. It is early autumn, early fall here in Australia, and we do still have a lot of flies. I left the door open. Of course, I've got meat sitting out, so the flies are having a field day. So I won't do this for too long. But we did 2 pigs over the weekend, and we also had some beef scrap left over. Shoo-fly, don't bother me, shoo-fly, don't bother me. And we also had some pork offal. So you can hear some of the dogs crying in the background. I do apologise. So these are for my larger outdoor dogs. I do have indoor dogs. They've already been fed. They had their share. This is just the last of it. So you can see we've got 14. The smalls of these guys is like 14, 15 kilos, so he's not a big dog, he's only a little beagle, and then the biggest of them is 35 kilo stag hound. So we've got fat and trim and a little bit of bone for some of these guys. Most of this is fat, trim and offal. Uses it up, it's good calories, good nutrients, it fills the dogs up, gives them a real good boost, and it means I don't have to feed them quite as much kibble for this particular day. If you don't know, I buy kibble by the pallet, and I'm waiting for my delivery at the end of this month. I'll probably have to buy a couple of bags to stretch us a little bit further, but until then, we do have stuff in the freezer to just stretch the budget out a little bit with these guys. So, my guys are used to eating offal and fat and bones and trim and this sort of stuff. If your dogs are not used to it, do a little bit. I would recommend doing it with a stool binder, so something fibrous like rolled oats, bran flakes, something like that, just to, really should have left the door shut, but I wanted the lighting, so beggars can't be choosers. I've got kibble in the bottom of these bowls, because like I wasn't going to have enough to do full meals. The kibble still provides some nutrients, despite what people may say. The kibble still provides something. Some of the bowls obviously look a little bit fuller than what they are. It's just the pieces, how they've sat in there. Weight-wise, some of these are quite light on. I will still add, because there is quite a bit of blood in some of these bowls, and blood does tend to even make my dogs have a bit of a soft stool. I will give some rolled oats to some of these dogs, also because some have got quite large bits of liver, and offal, so that can also make even my guys have a little bit of a soft bum. So basically, if you don't agree with it, don't do it. If you have an alternative use for this stuff, use it for an alternative. I just use it as pet food because I don't currently have an alternative use for it. Do I eat offal? Yes. I don't eat enough offal to really justify keeping all the offal from everything we keep. And the fat, I don't actually have a use for the fat because I don't currently make my own soaps or tallow or lard or anything, so all of it just gets done as dog food. But yeah, anyway, so this is really nutrient dense, really rich, adds heaps of calories onto the dogs, and as we are getting cool of the night time, they will appreciate a big calorie boost like this. And the dogs just enjoy it. It's enriching for them. They will scarf this down real quick, and they'll sit nice and happy outside without too much drama overnight watching for foxes and stuff. So but yeah, if you have a use for it, if you have a different use for it, use it for something else. But if you got a lot of butchering scraps and whatnot, use it for pet food. It is even fat like this. If you've got good active dogs, they're not going to have issues with it. So yeah, just an idea. I'm going to go feed these guys. Have a good one. Ciao.